Good evening, everyone. We are live for Spudcast number 5. Madness. Right, let's get Mr. Grant in. He's requested and I've requested him. Hey, boy! Why
is it quiet?
No, you're good, mate. I can hear you. I'm good, mate. You all right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to sort the volume out 2 seconds. Hold on.
Hang on, Spud.
Brian's there as well. You got tech support today.
Is that better?
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine.
No,
I had Padders on last week. I had a job to hear him.
You sound
spot on, mate.
Yeah, but I can't hear you very well.
You've gone all quiet.
You've gone all quiet, Spud.
I've gone all quiet, mate. First time for everything, eh?
I can hear you. You're just a bit quiet, is all.
Oh, that's all right, mate. I can hear you. How you doing, boy? Oh, good to see you.
Really good, thank you.
Good. Welcome to the Spudcast. Do you see what I did there? It's just an excuse for a catch-up. I can't remember who it was. After Christmas, I thought, I know loads of, I've got some fairly big players on Instagram. Let's get them on and let's have a chat and a catch-up with some mates. And
you think we'll put on the telly now, aren't you?
And here you are. Oh, there. You're gonna get more technical.
Yeah, she thinks she might put on the... Because, I'm having to lean forward because you're literally that quiet.
Oh, no.
She's trying to work something out now, though. Yeah, so, we haven't seen each other for a while, have we?
I'm trying to think when... did you do Speed Week? You went to Speed Week?
Yeah, I was there. Did
I see you at Speed Week?
Come on, mate. Jesus, 7th.
Really?
Yeah.
Speed Week?
Yeah.
What were you doing? Oh, yes.
Jag 400, right?
Yes, of course you were. Yes. Yeah, because I put around to see you at the garage and you were barking orders at your old man and he's rolling his eyes like, oh, here we go.
I never bark orders.
Well, you were barking orders, but you were
as my father says, wear the old woods out first.
How is your dad? Is he all good?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's in the garage most days. He's working on Buy1, just trying to get it ready for this year's season. So he's just improving the suspension and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Oh, that's good. Well, what I normally do is I get into about a quarter of an hour before I get who I've got on to do an intro. So do you want to quickly introduce yourself and say what you do? Okay.
All right. Well, I'm Grant Williams. I race Buy1 at Goodwood and also Jag 400. Quite successfully. I've had a good few wins there. That is my life, basically. Goodwood in a nutshell.
And Buy1 is a Mark 1, for people that don't know, that's a Mark...
It's a Mark 1 Jag. It's an ex-Works factory car, built in 1959, raced by Roy Salvadori. It was owned by the factory, but Coombs ran the car.
Yeah.
And my granddad bought it in 1962. So very lucky and fortunate. Okay. Oh, you are? She's got a big sound bar going on, I'm going to try this.
Oh, man. You can end up getting loads of feedback in a minute. Your ear's going to be bleeding.
Oh, where does that one come from? On top of the telly. How did you get off the telly?
Oh, dear.
How did you get off the telly?
And what? So the Mark 1. I was going to get into this later on, but let's do it now. So the Mark 1 Jag that you've got. So that's you race that now, and your dad's Tony raced that before you, and then your granddad raced before Tony, but it was your granddad that bought it originally.
Yeah, he bought it off the factory in '62. And hold on,
I'm going to pause you.
2 seconds. 2 seconds, Spud. 2 seconds.
Sorry, everyone.
What? Uh-oh. It's all going to go horribly wrong now.
You're loud.
Hello, mate.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. So where were we?
I don't know. Hughes just said broadband in Wales, mate. Hughes from down the road. He's near Cardiff, I think.
Oh, okay.
He's that way. I don't know. And once I get into Wales, I don't know where. I know where the Brecon Beacons is. I know where you are. That's pretty much it.
All right. Okay.
Yes, mate. Sorry. So your Mark 1 Jag was. So you raced that now. Your dad raced that. His dad raced that, and his dad bought it from the factory in '62. And it's a 50. It's a 59 card. You say?
Yeah, 59 car. And the car was built as a experimental car. They built 7 of them. and mine is basically the only one that ever survived. And they were called Mk1 GT.
The Mk1 GT, okay.
The idea was they were going to produce them as a GT car, and you could basically buy the car and just go racing with the car. So it was a ready race car to go. But then the Mark II came out, which is now 400, and that was on the build sheet. It was built as a GT Gran Turismo.
Okay. So is the Mark II heavier?
Yeah, not by much.
Okay.
It's just little subtle difference in the soul, basically. But no, not really that much heavier. But you had a bit more power with a 3.8 instead of a 3.4. But the Mark I, our car, had it came with aluminium doors on it. It had reinforced chassis legs, wire wheels. It had disc brakes. Now, disc brakes were only designed for the D-type, so they pulled them off the D-type. Yeah, so it was cutting-edge technology back in the day. And also it came with those special triple upswept manifolds, which was quite unique at the time. Yeah, so it was a very, just another experimental car they produced. And my granddad was racing against it in one of the races before, and he beat him a few times. And then he put in his bonnet, brought after the car basically, and then found it for sale a minute ago. My father found the original ad in 1962, £1,650.
Mate. You didn't pay that for it then?
No. It's 150 grand today's money.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was very lucky. I'm very fortunate Grandad bought the car he did. So.
Oh, that's cool. And then
Dad had the first revival in 1998 in it.
Sorry, say that again. You're going a little bit choppy.
Yeah, Dad done the first revival in 1998.
No, he did the first revival with it in '98.
First ever revival, and he said to me, "Yeah," and then I basically, he said, "Oh, you got to do it," and I was like, "I can't be bothered." I mean, and then afterwards, he said, "Look, you got to do it." So I said, "Mate, it's nothing like we've ever done before." He said, "You got to come, you got to come."
Oh, mate, you've gone. You've started to go really choppy. I noticed that Brian is joined. I don't know if because you're now sharing the same Wi-Fi thing that you're straining your Wi-Fi at your end.
Well, not on Wi-Fi.
You were.
No. Is it better? Is it better now?
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, you're all right. It's better that you're closer anyway. See those beautiful love lines. What? So they built 7. So how many are left?
Only mine, as far as we know. Well, Nigel Webb thinks
only yours.
Yeah, Nigel Webb apparently got one of the sister cars, but we're not sure. But yeah, it is. As far as we know, it's the only one left.
Did you say you're aware of another one in bits, some like Australia or something?
Yeah, well, apparently there was one out in Australia, but it's never been confirmed. It got shipped. Basically, he said he's got a car there with a set of manifolds on, but the manifolds could have came from something else.
Okay.
But yeah, it's never been confirmed as such. So.
Oh, I see. The main thing I love about your Jag, and I say this to several people, the people that race at the revival have got real meticulously like cars that are just being built and overhauled and stuff for the revival. They're shipped away in the garage, and normally about 4 or 5 weeks before the revival, you're kicking the arse out of yours at the Car Fest or something, doing donuts and burnouts and that sort of stuff. And I just absolutely love it. And obviously, a couple of years ago, you got invited to go to the Festival of Speed with it as well. And yeah, I mean, what a great opportunity to get the car out and get it seen.
I did get a bit of stick from doing this, from doing the Car Fest stuff and the burnouts and stuff. But at the end of the day, like I tell people, it's been in our family for so long. We know we're be nut and bolt on this car. And I keep telling people, when I do the Car Fest stuff, it's only play stuff. The engine, the gearbox, the back axle, that's just stuff that I got kicking around. And the week, normally, it's the week before revival. But we get the car back, we pull it apart, put the race engine, the race box, race back axle, and get it ready for revival. And it's not doing any damage to the car as such. It's just fun. For me, it's letting my hair down.
fun. It's one of those things for people that don't know. Do you know what I mean, sitting there doing a burnout is obviously torture on the tyres, but the rest of the car is actually all right. It's a lot worse on the racetrack. Do you know what I mean, high revving and hard braking and real giving it the stick.
Yeah, definitely. The loads on the car are ridiculous on a circuit. You know, once you initially light the tyre up, you know, I can go down to a tick over and it'll still keep spinning the wheels, and it's just second gear. That's all you're doing. But I do get a stick, you know, to get, well, you said the commentary special speed. I've never seen, what is it? So it's disrespect and abuse of a Mk1 Jag.
I remember that. That was great. One of the commentators was saying that, slagging you off. I was like, brilliant. You're a good lad.
He's actually a good fan. Yeah, he's a good fan. He's a, you know, he's a really nice guy, actually, but he just says for the fun, basically.
I've got one of the pictures I shared earlier. You're like full lock, 2 wheels on the grass at the Festival of Speed, and I remember reading in the thing. I remember you telling me. I think Brian, you told me about. I don't think you told me about that. Like mid slide or something, or before the slide, the dash fell out. What was the story with that? What happened there?
The dash is held in by one screw, and the screw had so the dashboard, and it fell off with my arms. And I caught it in the corner. It had pinned my arms on the steering wheel. I couldn't get the lock back out of the car. I managed to get the spin round. You know, if you look at if you watch the video, I'm still, as I'm spinning, I'm looking the second gear to keep it going, and then I just throw the dash behind me in the back. It's happened in a race before as well. Actually, at Revival, I lost the dash, and you know, it's a bit of fun. You know what I mean? I said, and you know, it looks good for the cameras. Lots of tire smoke, put the dust everywhere. But if you see me, I was laughing all the way up around it.
What have you put some more screws in the dash now, or was that just you just put a new screw in there?
It's still exactly the same. I haven't changed a thing. I just stuffed it back in the hole. Keep working as well.
Sorry, say again.
I've got gear knob snap off me in the race. There's a video again showing the gear knob just come off my hand, and I just sling it to the back of my hand, just start driving.
Oh, mate. Yeah, you got every now and again you go really clear for a minute, and then you go like a bit choppy again. So you say you're not on the Wi-Fi, you're just doing it over your broadband. Just on your 4G or whatever.
Yeah. It's on. Try turning the volume down a bit. Maybe a bit too loud.
Yeah, no, it's not. Every now and again, I think it's just overloading the network or something. Every now and again, you're clear, and then you go a bit choppy every now and again. Normally, just when you get to the good bit of the story. What have we got here? Yeah, some of that you've already covered. Carfest. One of the other photos I shared was you at Carfest, and you're doing a burnout donut thing, and what's his name? Richard Browning with the jetpack is going around you. What was the story behind that, and how did you? Because the two of you conjured that up in the pits or something, didn't you?
We didn't at all. We were going to do something, but then basically health and safety went nuts and said, "Look, you know, we can't do this. We can't do that. This can't happen." So,
what were you trying to do?
They wanted to do something for the end of it. It was basically the finale of the show, so they wanted to do something spectacular. And then so we thought, well, we'll do something like that. And then also health and safety come along. He said, "Look, we can't do it. You know, this is too dangerous." Blah blah. So I just said, "Oh, you know, basically balls to it." Like I mean, and Chris Evans was in the truck at the time filming it, and I basically sat there and waited. I knew something was going to go along. I thought,
Chris Evans, yeah? Yeah,
Chris Evans. So, you know, I just thought, okay, well, I'll let him carry on. And when he went down there, I just went howling down in the corner, and I just thought I waited for him to come around with a flying thing. So I stayed in the arena, and we started doing this donut. When I was doing the donut round in the arena, he was flying around with me in sync. I kept it going until I blew the tyres out in the car. So, but the flying man, when he heard the bang of the tires, he thought one of the jet engines went bang, and he quickly lands it, and he realised, hang on, no, there's nothing wrong with these, and he flies it. It was kind of cool because they shoot the shot of Chris's base when he sees it. They film him doing it, and he was just gobsmacked, totally gobsmacked.
Yeah.
So it was
I've seen that. Brilliant. Yeah, mate, it was mega. I was waiting for him. I was waiting for him to land on the roof, like he flies around and he lands on the back of the pickup truck. I was waiting for him to land on the roof of your Jag, but then his jet engines might have taken all your paint off.
I did say to him, if you want to do that, you can do that. But he did say, like, no, just in case it takes paint off. He said, but I did say, yeah, when you try landing on the bonnet, something like that. But like I said, the smoke was amazing. It was just one of those climaxes that really looked forward to doing it. And when I blew the tyres out, it just went nuts. Everyone was screaming. I had to live off this. It was the last part of the show.
Oh, it's mega, mate. It's good end.
Yeah.
It's good into the show. I've got a question here from Toxic Knobs. Unfortunate. Okay. Are you at Festival of Speed this year, Grant?
I would like to be, but it's all invite only. I might be with Jag 400 because it all depends at Goodwood. But I'd like to do it. So that with that car because it's a lot quicker, and I want to try and break my time. I done 58 seconds last time up the hill, which is I beat most of the modern touring cars. But maybe a 56 or 57 in the Jag and the Mark II, which is pretty respectable.
Was the Mark II so much faster? Just better engine or something?
Yeah, it's an almost singing dancing. It's a raw beer engine. It just literally it's 360 brake with 360 pounds of torque. It's just really it goes so well. It was built specially for Revival for this Speed Week. It's all within tolerances of 3.8, but with the triple carbs, it's just amazing. Absolutely, I've never had an engine like it before in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's that strong, and I just keep pulling and pulling, but not as quick as the Galaxies. That's the problem.
What power's yours Mark 1 making?
About 270, 275. So
nearly 100 brake more.
Yeah. But we're having the engine refreshed now with Rob now, so he's doing us a new special head for the car. Basically, same sort of setup on Jag 400. We're hoping to get about just 300 if we can out of that, which is for 3.4. That's more than respectable. That'll give me. Towards the end of the race, the car sort of tires a bit. With the tires wear off in my driving style, I'm always sliding the car, so I'm not kind to it, as we can say. And then it just sort of lacks a bit of power towards the end. So we're hoping with a new engine and that one will get me against, more against Mike Jordan and the A40s basically, because they're my main rivals and the Alpha. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I get a bit more in the bag then.
Dare I say that the Jordans might have spent a few more quid on their cars than you spent on your car? I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah. They got no idea how we work on our car. It's literally pulled out of it's in a garage on the side of a house, axle stand, and the old man just slaving away on it. There's nothing fancy about what we do at all. So.
I love it, mate. I love it. When I first saw your setup, I was like, brilliant. It's proper like grassroots. Like this is how it should be.
Yeah, it should be. It's how it was in the 15th, basically. Nothing changed.
I've got a question from David Clark. Does your car number mean anything?
What the number on the car? Is that number 12?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, well, I've won a few times with that number, and I just sort of decided to sort of keep it, basically. So I do ask to keep as number 12, if I can get it. But yeah, not really, but I do like the fact that I've won a few times with number 12 on the car, so I try and, a bit superstitious, like I try and wear the same box shorts when I go racing in the car. So.
Oh, that's cool. I'm just flicking back through. There's it might have been a few questions I've missed. No, I think we're all up to scratch. I spend too much on modifying my Citroen C1. You need to get yourself a Mark 1 Jag, mate. Actually, no, don't. That'd be a lot. Citroen C1's probably a lot cheaper. What else have we got? I've got down here Praga. What's happening with the Praga this year?
I don't know. But Praga, they're going really big. They're doing a VR Motorsport, which Vincent runs VR Motorsport. They've got about 4 cars in the Brit Car Series this year. So
wow.
Yeah, they're really plugging Praga really, really well. It's all Praga backed as well.
Oh, wow.
yeah. So look, if I get a chance to drive it, I'm always there. I mean, I help out Vincent. Vince is my main sponsor for my car, VR Motorsport. But if they want any help, I'm open to go and do some planning from the mechanic, from whatever they need me to do. I'm always there. But maybe we might do some rounds. But we're on about doing some rounds in Europe, basically. Spa, Zandvoort, something like that. I mean, whatever we can do out there, because it's just fun. We want to go and just enjoy ourselves. I mean, that's what motor racing is all about, having fun and enjoying ourselves. Like so.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. If I get the call, I'm there. I'm there straight away.
You're there. You're there. Yeah, I can imagine you'd be like, yeah, whatever's happening, cancel. I'm going. Dale, boy, do you think Carfest will happen this year?
I think it's going to happen. It's going to be. Is it retro? It's supposed to be retro Carfest.
Okay.
It's supposed to be in April, but that'll be moved. Again, if I get invited, you don't. The problem with these companies and stuff like that, you don't really hear from them to the last minute, and then say, "Can you be there?" Okay, I'll be there. So trying to plan it is hard. But I've been invited every year since I first went there. They got me there out of curiosity for a surprise to Chris Evans.
Sorry, say again. They got you there for
the first time they got me there was a surprise to Chris Evans.
Ah.
Yeah, because he's a bit of a big fan. So
well, there you go.
Yeah, he watched my 2010 race or something like that at Goodwood, and then he dedicated the show on the Monday. And I didn't know anything about it. I just had a load of phone calls saying, "Come on, Grant, turn Radio 2 on. He's going nuts about you on the show."
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then they said it was all about the Welshman. If he can go sideways in a straight line, you know you can drive a car. Something like that he was saying. But I didn't realise till I got laughing in the show. And then I had this phone call. Can you come up to Carfest? Didn't know anything about it at all. I said, okay, I'll come up there. I took the car up on the trailer. I slept 3 days on the trailer on an airbed.
All the glamour.
And then I was like, oh my God, this is pretty cool. This is just a great fun. And then he came down to the car, not knowing I was in the paddock, and just sat there. I just sat for hours just talking to us in the car about the car and about the history. And then he said, I said, do you want to go? Do you want to come with me in the car on a bit of a lap, like I mean? And he said, yeah, he'd love to. And then the next thing you know, I go, well, we got the helmets on. He said, listen, son, we don't need helmets, he said. And then I said, well, the track is live. He said, don't you worry about that. He said, I'll sort that out right now, he said. So he shut the whole track and he just said, come on, let's go. Let's just go do it.
Wow. Oh, that's mega. I didn't know that. So you've taken Chris out for a big old burn up in the Mark 1?
Yeah, burn out. I've taken most of his family, actually. I've taken his son out in the car. And I get to do my own thing. When I get there now, even basically my run is how I want to run my run. So I can burn the tyres out. I can go up and down the track. I can start the one end and finish the other end if I want to. They let me do what I want basically now, which is it's really cool. Like I mean, it's just nice to have that sort of trust. Yeah, and I usually go through about 14 to 15 sets of tyres in the weekend.
Oh man. Oh, that's mad. I think the first time I met your dad was at Carfest. I think I was working there, and I'd come back for the evening to watch the gig and stuff, and you were in the paddock and you were dropping I think you'd done your diff or something, and you'd phoned your dad up. I think you'd done your diff during the day, and you phoned your dad up, said chuck the spare diff, or chuck the whole axle in the back of the car and bring it up, and you were dropping it out that evening.
Yeah, we did. Basically, it was Carfest North. It was Manchester. So I blew the diff out of it, and this was on the. I think this was sat on the. I don't know. It was Friday night. I think this was something like that. And of course, we're one of these families that look, whatever it takes, we'll be there. We'll do it. I mean, so I picked the phone up. I said, "Dad, you got to get there. Can you sort this out now?" So he jumps in the car. He drives all the way up to Manchester. We worked till 1 o'clock in the morning, changed the kit, and then he drove all the way back home. We didn't even stay the night.
Whoa, what a lad.
The next day, basically. Dad's always been the same. That's what Dad's like. I think I'd be lost without him. So You better start working, okay, boy?
Oh, mate, he's a good lad. Does your dad know my real name now? Does he still think my name's Brick?
He still calls you Brick. Don't worry. That's
fine by me. If I was small and dainty, one might not be able to pull it off, but it's just as well I'm not. That was so funny. I can't believe you misheard that. Do you want to be a Brick? Everyone's like, Brick? Who's this Brick? And everyone, you and Bridie obviously knew that my name wasn't Brick and you just wetted your pants, and that kind of stuck, which I think, yeah, I mean, why not? Why not?
I see Spud, he goes, I said, oh, Brick? Oh, yeah, okay, I know you're on it then.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love your dad. He's a good lad. What else have I got here? I mean, talking of meeting, I remember the first time I met you, actually. You'd come to meet Bryony on Mithril Christmas meal, Christmas drinks, whatever it was. Oh, yeah. And then we went bowling. I'd had a couple of sherbets, and at some point in the conversation, I was saying that I had a track day at Goodwood in the morning. I mean, why I'd booked it, I had no idea. I think I was supposed to do the day. I think it was David Bryce's charity track day thing that I was supposed to do the day. I said I can't do the day now, but they said, well, we'll still do the charity donation thing, and we'll put you on tomorrow's track day. So obviously got up in the morning like a bear with a sore head. You'd obviously remembered that I was doing a track day, and any excuse probably for you to get down to Goodwood. So I'd done the first session a bit gingerly because I was a bit woolly, and then I'm sat in the pit lane. I could hear you. Hey boy, I was like, hello mate. He went, I think he said something like, I know you haven't passed the breathalyzer or something this morning. And then done the next session. You jumped in the car with me. And then the next time out, then you're going, oh yeah, I've done a lunge on Tiffnadale down here, and I fired Jason Plate off over here, and it was like I was trying to do a track day. You're giving me a guided tour. It's like a revival guided tour, best stories. It was mega.
He was in that Civic Type R, wasn't he?
Yeah, Civic Type R, yeah, the grey one, yeah.
Yeah. No,
yeah, that was a good day.
It was cold, but it was a good day actually.
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah, I mean, any track day is a good day. Just any excuse to get out on track for me at any point. Oh, I just love it. Absolutely love it.
I think I can drive around blindfolded.
Say again.
I think I can drive around with blindfolded. I think there's going to be times now.
Oh, mate, I can imagine. What I've heard snippets of you tell quite a good story of your first. Is it your first race that you did at the Revival? So first of all, how did you end up getting into the Revival, or did you get in off the back of your dad? And how did he get into the Revival?
Dad had an invite come through for the car because it's a famous Mark 1. So he said he'd done the first ever Revival, and I wasn't interested. I was only young. I just thought I'd rather go party on the weekend because it was like a bit like another club meeting, and I just won the championship in the black car, the Jaguar Challenge Championship. I was the youngest driver to win that. So. And then the next year, like Dad said, we got to go. Just come and do it. Like, okay, fine, I'll come and do it. I'd never been in the track before the circuit. I'm in the grey car then, which is Buy1. So I stick it on pole in the race with Jerry Marshall and all the other drivers as well. But we had a perspex rear window in the car, and we didn't think anything of it because that's how the car was ran 40 years in the previous. So there was no issue. But somebody moaned about a perspex rear window, so they gave me a 10-second penalty. And I'm seething now. I'm so angry about this because I remember going on the grid thinking to myself, I should be up there. Why am I all the way back here? And it started to rain, and it was raining quite heavy at the time. So I set off, and so everybody was going around, and they were all sort of in single file in the middle of the track, and there was loads of water to the left and the right. And I thought, well, why are you guys going on the right or the left? So I just sort of weave into the traffic and cut into the water. And it was a bit slidey. It was just car was sliding and stuff like that. But it was nothing. I was quite used to that. And the next thing I know, I get I'm pretty sort of passing cars, and I'm thinking, why are we going so slow? What's going on here? And I looked, and I'm thinking, have they stopped the race? I'm looking for flags. I'm looking for black flag, red flag. And I'm thinking, well, come on, are we actually racing or what? was like a Sunday
Well,
drive.
you're like 3/10 or something. You're like, come on, boys.
Come on. And I went from 10th on the grid, okay, which is right back the grid now, to first in 3/4 of a lap. And I remember passing Jerry Marshall, and I remember just vivid now. He's looking at me, and he had this expression on his face. He's looking at me going, "Are you all right? Are you mental or what?" Like, and I look over at him going, "Well, are we racing or what? Are we going?
Yeah, come on, stop pride, lad."
And I passed him, and then I just looked. I thought, okay, and I pulled a bit of a massive lead, and then it started to rain so bad. It was a monsoon. You could see the water bouncing on the surface of the track.
Oh,
and I
wow!
remember going to my dad on the pit lane, and all I could see was his face, because we didn't have pit bulls. I still use pit bulls, and Dad was just doing this thing on the go, going, slow down, and I go past and going. I went like, what's going on? It's fine. It's all okay. And the next thing you know, I get to the end of the pit lane. I hit the water. It aquaplaned. I remember bouncing onto. I just hissed the tire wall, and you can see me frantically trying to get it, reverse it back, and I'm in 4th gear trying to get off the grass.
Oh, no.
I remember hitting the grill, and my father bought this 200-pound new grill to go on the car, and I told him I flattened the grill, and I remember just thinking to myself, oh, God, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. And I think I clawed my way back up to 4th or something like that again. But I was having so much fun. I spun the belt off the engine.
In the crash?
Yeah, it just come off. It was overheating like hell, the car was. But I managed to get to the end of the race, and I was sideways. The video, I'm literally every corner. I was broadside into the car, just having a laugh at the point. I think, well, just enjoy it. And I remember coming in. I got to the so I spun it again, got the car started, carried on again, and I got to. They were doing the Jerry was giving out. You got to the end of the pit straight, and they were basically doing the things, all the trophies and stuff like that. And I remember sat there, and the car stalled just after the chicane, and it wouldn't start. It was so tight, we just pressed the button, boom, boom, boom. And I got out of the car, and everywhere was just cheering and screaming, and I'm thinking, I've never experienced any of this, and I thought, oh, they're cheering for Jerry, like winning the race. I mean, and they weren't. They were just going nuts for the way I drove the car. And then I pulled in, we finally drove me in, and I went into the paddock, and there was hundreds and hundreds of people all around the car and me and stuff like that. And then I got home, and it was in every magazine, and because it was just shocked to me because of the chicane, throwing the water everywhere, and that sort of cemented. It was. I think if I'd won the race, I don't think I'd have had the same response. Now, it was a case of the way I drove the car. And I was so leery in it that it just instantly got me invited back every year. Then it was that sort of cemented my win there.
Brilliant.
And it was really cool. I mean, and Jerry was always a real nice guy. And like I said, I was only young, I was very cocky, and he always used to comment. He always said, "You just make me up, hi boyo, and you gonna win tomorrow? You gonna win tomorrow?" And I'd be like, yeah, Jerry, yeah. Going, you're going to win tomorrow, you are. You just winded me up like me, but he was always a good laugh. Like, so.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's brilliant. Oh, dude, that's a better version of the story than I heard last time. maybe it gets better and better every time you tell it.
Oh yeah, you always had a bit more every time, couldn't you?
Yeah, next time you start at the back of the grid. What can I bring this? Tell me if you can't talk about this or not, but you won the revival 2 years ago, but then you didn't win. Can you say more about that or not really?
Yeah, I can talk about it. Right, okay. The rules for the revival and the Mk1 Jag, right, were basically, as far as I understand it, they were all built on a standard car. So, of course, the standard car, right, had a normal head on the car, okay? But Buy1 on the factory was built with a straight 4-stage valve head, and that's how it ran in the touring cars. And for years and years and years, basically my car didn't fit the rules, but they kept letting the car run because the way I drove the car and how famous the car was. It's basically too costly to change the rules. So every year I won, it was always just overlooked that my car technically wasn't legal, but the rules should have been built on the factory-built racing car, not a standard Mark 1, because at the time they didn't realise that my car had these parts on the car. So it basically was always, grant wins, whatever. It's just, yeah, they knew what it had. They all knew it was always. We kept saying, look, you got to change the rules. I'm technically. They go, no, it's fine. Look, your car basically gets special dispensation, okay? Because what it is, it's a famous factory-built car. And we always stated, look, and then eventually the rules, because people said, well, we should run the triple carburetors. And we should, look, we can all run triple carburetors, okay? There's no issue with that. We're not complaining about it. So we said, okay, fine, they all run triple carb. And then what happened was the normal head scrutineer wasn't there for that weekend. So it was a different person at the time, and he was on the warpath. So he had everybody for roller rockers, alloy wheels. He just was disqualifying everybody. And we even had our head on display there. So they, I won the race. Even Mike, when they disqualified me at the end of it. So what actually happened was, knowing that this scrutineer was on the warpath, and we know who did it and who complained, put a little word into the end of the year, and he said, look, Grant's running the wrong head on the car. And he walked up to the car, looked under the bonnet, and said, yeah, wrong head. That's it, disqualified. So, and then by doing that, the certain person that did that ended up he only finished 5th in the race, and then it got further up anyway. So that's what actually happened there. And it needed to happen because the Goodwood needed to get changed. They needed to change and sort the problem out. So one thing happened. I was a bit upset about it, but look, I won the race fair and square. Where I started, I fought back. Even Mike Jordan said, look, I don't want to take the win over this because you drove fantastically. You gave me space. You gave me room. You held the inside line.
Because you only just beat him, didn't you? It was a good battle.
Yeah, you said you made me go on the outside every time, and you gave me room when I needed the room. So, I could have been closing the door on him. I could have made the back of the car leery as hell. And we went over the line, literally just something over a second over the line. It was a drag to the finish. So,
I was on the pit wall. With Brian and Kim and George and everyone.
Yeah, we was hoping to get top 5. Not first. So, but it. Goodwood admitted there was a problem. They called me in. They apologized, said sorry, it should never have happened. And then they changed the rules. They basically said, look, is it okay if we allow everybody to run the big valve straight port head? And I said, yeah, there's no problem at all. And they changed the rules for the next year. So I got there's no issues at all now, basically, with the car.
So you've still got the win?
Yeah, I had the win, yes, but the only thing I got disqualified was basically on the results, the time results. So they still show the video as me winning, and basically the same thing. So as far as everything's concerned, I still won the race regardless. So I just didn't, I had the reef, I had the car, I had the bottle of champagne. It just my times got disqualified at the end of the time sheet. So
mate.
I got disqualified for having the only original car in the race.
I know, because there's some proper hooky cars there, man. It's
So it's okay. Look, motor racing. Everybody bends the limits as far as they can possibly bend them. But that's just motor racing. So.
Yeah, of course it is. And so basically, what you're saying is the rules are bent on the rules are set on a standard Mark 1 Jag, but yours was actually built modified.
Yeah, it was built for the touring car series, so it came
originally.
Originally. So but at the time, if they'd come to us and said, "Look, can we set the rules on your car?" then there wouldn't have been this issue. But like I said, this has been going on for 10 to 15 years. This has been going on for, and every year we haven't had an issue with it because it is what it is, and that's why. And like I said, I think the cost of, it's not just going like, oh, we'll change the rules. They've got to go to the solicitors and get all this thing drafted up, and it's got to be signed off by people and this, that, and the other. And to do it, and I had to sit down with a meeting and showing there's the build sheet of the car, there's the head, there's the carburetors. And fair play, they were fantastic. They worked with everything and said, look, we want to get this right because we don't want this happening again. Because they were worried about me saying, look, I'm not going to go back. You just because the first thing I did when I walked in, I showed the first race that car ever raced in was Goodwood. In 1959, the first race that car ever did was at Goodwood. I said. Yeah, and then I showed them basically what it was and where it came, and they were like, "Oh, okay, all right, okay."
Yeah. In that spec with all those bits on it.
With all those bits on the car, yeah, just as it is. And then I said, "There's the build sheet. There it is." And they're like, "Oh, okay, they should have that." Yeah. So, but like I said, it's all under the bridge now. I'm ready to move on, and they've been really helpful, especially getting Jag for 100 there. They wanted that car because that car came with the same stuff, basically triple carb, big valve head. It even came with a dry sump, but we didn't use that. So yeah, it was good, very experimental car.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because if they hadn't changed the rules, what's the point in you racing again? Because you could win again, and then they go, "Oh no, yeah, but you haven't won because you've got a hooky car again."
We got a hooky car again, and that's the issue you got. But like you said, it's all done and dusted now. I mean, this year's revival with the car. It's pre-60 this year, so yeah, it'll be ready to go. We're opening all the modifications done to the car, with the suspension and bits and pieces of the engine. We're hoping to be top three. I've been top three virtually every year I've been there. So
wow.
Yeah. I've won it. It's only me and Tom Christensen and somebody else were the most successful drivers at revival for wins. So
proper job.
Yeah.
So this year, you're definitely in the revival this year. That's set.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be. Hopefully, with you never know. You don't. You just
exactly.
You gotta let it. Yeah, there's no. You just say you can come in. That's it. So I was supposed to be doing speed week members meeting as well. So
yeah.
I had an invite back last year for which all happened, sort of thing, so. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So.
So and for revival, you're taking the Mark 1 or the Mark 2 or both?
Mark 2 will be there. Mark 1 will be there for revival this year because it's pre-60, so it's 59.
Pre-60. Okay, so what's the Mark 2 going to be raced for this year?
I don't know yet. When we're doing the Mark 2, is it going to be? It's Mike. I'll be doing the Mike Hawthorne challenge of that basically, and HRDC.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever I get invited again, whatever I can go to, I don't mind.
Let us know where you're going to end up. I'll come and make the teas and come and sleep in the van like always.
Love
it, mate.
Have you there.
I remember. I think it was at Brands Hatch. I came up. You had your big wagon there. I slipped in the van because we had the barbecue out and we had some mega evenings and stuff like that. I remember you got me on. We were drinking. I think Brian put a glass of something girly in my hands, some sort of champagne-y thing, and then that disappeared. I think it's Prosecco or something. And then you said, "Hey, do you like amaretto?" I was like, "I don't know, what's amaretto?" You went, "Try this, mate. Try this." So you made me super strength amaretto, which I still drink to this day because of you, and it's lush. You went, "Do you like is it almondy, isn't it? It's like marzipan almondy."
Yeah,
you went,
yeah.
Oh, lush. I still drink it to this day. However, after far too many amarettos, I then decided it was a good idea to take, I thought it was your scooter, but it turned out to be Bryony's scooter for a lap of Brands Hatch at about 11 o'clock at night. I'll tell you what, Paddock Hill Bend in the dark on a scooter is really steep.
You get some speed going down there if you're on a scooter.
My problem was I started going down the hill, and you had got the little foot thing you can put on the brake at the back, and even with my foot on the brake as hard as it would go, I was still gaining speed, and I was like, this is gonna end in disaster. But then I bottomed out, and then I couldn't and then I had to like push it all the way out to the top. But yeah, I literally did a full lap of Brands on or Bryony's scooter, whatever it was. The best bit was once I'd done a lap, I was then coming down. Obviously, you come up whatever the bit before the straight is or before the grid, and as I was coming over the grid, it's ever so slightly downhill.
Yeah.
So as I'm going over the grid, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I've had a few sherbets. I'm going over the grid on this scooter, and I got all a bit nostalgic, and I thought of all the famous people, cars, events that have been here. I'm going over the grid on this little scooter. I started to get a bit like, ooh. But it's a privilege to be there. But that was a good evening, man. I'm looking forward to a few more like that.
I'm hoping this year it's going to be all back to normal. I mean, cause I'm busting to get racing, absolutely busting for this. I mean, I just, as a racing driver, you sit back and you're watching stuff on telly. You think, oh, come on, please, let's bring it on. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this year. I said I'm looking forward to running the Jag 400 car, like it's just so quick it is. So, yeah.
So have you raced that at all yet?
Only Speed Week. That's all. That's when I done that.
Oh, yeah, of course you raced at Speedway. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. Yeah. Because also, I've seen you some track days at Goodwood just for like shakedowns and stuff as well.
Yeah, I done one track day, but the car's brand new, so we just was a teething problems with the car. We tried to do a cast of the Autumn Classic, but it got rained off. That was all using the races basically as a shakedown, but it literally got rained off, and we went to Silverstone, and it was on the GP circuit. But it was just hard to go on the car. We were trying to work the car out. But yeah, we had no real testing time with the car. But it performed really, really well. I started 10th in the race, got to 7th overall. And the nearest Jag was 10 places up. So, it dominated the Jag.
Oh, proper job. Kim's just saying that she's busting for you to go racing as well. It's like a little, it's like a little family outing when Grant goes racing. Everyone comes from all different corners of the country, come and support you, mate. It's good. I'm just looking at the time, mate. It's 10:02. It's 10:02. I think I've done all my notes and more. I've got a few random questions that I've picked out just for a little Q&A for something to finish. Are you a tea or coffee man?
I am a tea in the morning, but I do like a coffee in the afternoon. So a bit of both.
Good lad. I think I know the answer to this. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Good lad. Favourite chocolate bar? You're probably not allowed chocolate bars at the moment, but what if you are allowed? What's your chocolate bar?
I do like an Oreo. Cadbury. Is it Cadbury Oreo?
I don't know. Yeah,
no, Oreo Cadbury bar. Yeah.
The dairy milk Oreo.
Yeah, the mix with Oreo. Yeah, I do like that all day night. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. What is your favourite veg with a roast dinner?
I like peas and sweet corn. I do. I'm a big
peas and sweet corn.
Yeah, I like peas and sweet corn. I cook that. That's a bit weird.
I like sweet corn, but you can keep the peas. I'm not a fan of that at all. What's the most? I know you've had a few cars. What's the most underrated car that you've driven?
My Range Rover, I think.
Most underrated.
Yeah, it is actually. People don't really love it. Actually.
What about the most overrated car?
I had a V6 Clio. I had a phase 1 and a phase 2. Great car, but a bit underpowered. But they look amazing. They look like they'll just do walk speed, but they weren't that quick. They were the gearbox like toffee. I went through 5 gearboxes in my phase 1. I just kept flinging it back. Let's fix it.
Oh, mate. Oh, what power are they from standard then?
The first one was 230. And they were quite a heavy car. They're not that light because the engine's in the back. It was a bit of a heavy car. And then the phase 2 was 255.
Okay. Yeah, nothing. That is interesting. What One of my questions is, what's the limit of your mechanic ability? But you run your garage, so there isn't, I don't think.
I can weld, alley weld, and stuff like that. I can pretty much do it all.
I know you can. You're a good lad. What most embarrassing car crash or incident, either on the road or on the track?
It would have to be the wet race. You know, when I spun off.
Right there,
when I spun off. I've only ever spun twice. No, 3 times at Goodwood. 3 times. In all the years I've been there, 3 times. One I can't remember, but Barney keeps showing me the video, but I can't remember doing that. I keep saying it wasn't me driving. It's clearly you can see me in the car because I wasn't driving. I still wasn't driving. too many amarettos. Too many amarettos the night before. That was on the parade lap. Actually, at the end, I think I spun it on.
What were you doing? Mucking about.
Mucking about. That's all. I think there was a load of people in the car, and I was just laughing, and I was doing a bit of a power slide. I didn't even do a donut thing. Like me.
Style it. If in doubt, style it out, eh?
Yeah, I did. I tried to anyway, but I still tried.
What Kim's just said, apparently Tony's a mechanic.
Yeah, Dad, in fairness, when it comes to the car, I normally just drive the car, bark my orders, say, look, I'm not happy, sort this out, Dad, blah, blah, blah. And he normally tells me where the sun don't shine, son, you know. So.
What Kim said, what about the new car at Carfest? Are you taking the Mark II out of Carfest? It'd be the Mark 1, wouldn't it?
I don't think so, no, because everybody wants to be Buy1. You know, I don't. You know, I would, but no, definitely not with that engine in the car. The money it's cost to get that engine. I don't think I want to be revving that one that hard. So.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. What? Are you a bit of a James Bond fan? Are you into James Bond at all? Got a couple of James.
I do like. I do.
What? Well, first of all, then, what's your favourite? Sorry, say again.
I'm a bit of a Sean Connery myself, like.
What's your favourite James Bond car chase?
Do you know what? I think the Aston one's pretty good. I mean the open shot, and I do like. Funny, you know the scene with the Range Rovers going down the mountain, and then with the plane.
In the later one.
Yeah, in the later one, where there's 2 Range Rover Sports, a Defender, and they were basically racing down the mountain. I ended up buying all the tyres, the Pirelli Winters, off the film set.
No way! How'd you manage that?
I don't know. It was a guy in Newport. He bought the lock, stock, barrel of them. He said, and he round me up. He said, I got all the tyres off the scene. Some were part worn and some were brand new. Pirelli Scorpion winter tyres, 20-inch tyres. And he said, you want to buy them all? They're basically technically second hand. Because after the film was finished, they said, look, just have them back. They didn't know what to do with them. And I ended up buying the tyres off. But yeah, I think that's one of that scene, and definitely the Aston Martin when he folds it down. I was a bit gutted to see the car get flipped and smashed to pieces. Like
Sorry, which Aston chase?
When he rolls the Aston Martin in, what film was that? Was that, you know, the one he rolls the black Aston on the banking and he rolls back up and down and.
I don't know.
Yeah,
got me there.
It was the new DB7 or something like that, or DB10, DB9, whatever it was. And he rolls it and they smashed it to pieces. They did.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Casino Royale. Yes.
Casino Royale. That's right. Yeah.
Casino Royale. Yeah. Because I think they tried it because they did it up at Millbrook. I've been over the course, and where the jump is. In fact, they've done a couple of 5th gear tests up there, so you could jump the furthest. Obviously, Tiff Needell was in the air for like a biblical time, but I think they tried to like flip the car. But every time it just slid, so they were going faster and faster, and they were trying to scan it and flick it, and in the end, they fitted a big
explosion ramp before, didn't it? Yeah, to get the over.
Done the cannon underneath, but they didn't then start from scratch. So they'd obviously built up to like a massive speed, and then did the cannon, and then at the point it went over and over. And if you watch the film, I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but obviously it started flipping, and the camera actually pans back because it just carries on. They thought it was going to stop, didn't they? That's right. Yeah, it's one of my best scenes.
Oh,
it's madness. I've got a feeling it went on the Guinness records for like most rolls in the stunt or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Lloyd wants to know if Grant is in his motorhome.
I am. Yeah. I'm actually sat here in the motorhome right now in the RV.
Lloyd, do you know Lloyd? I think there's some link there. Hugh from Cardiff knows someone that knows you. I don't know.
One of my friends. Yeah.
Everyone in Wales knows everyone, don't they?
They do, yeah.
What? A couple of minutes left. What's your guilty pleasure? Guilty? Oh, I said that really badly. Let me try that again. What's your guilty pleasure mod con on a car?
Women.
On a car? Well, what, on the body, you mean?
On a car.
Yeah.
I'm not a really fan of, having my car. No, I don't really know. No, I don't think I've got a pleasure on a car.
Heated seats in your Range Rover or something? There's like a little guilty.
Oh, Joe, I tell you what, my heated steering wheel. Yes, that is I'm always pressing that button every single morning.
Heated steering wheel?
Heated steering wheel, yes.
Oh, mate. Was that because you're getting old? You've got arthritis in your hands or something?
Yes, I got arthritis.
I'm not going to ask you that because I know the answer. What's a mod that you've done to a car which has completely ruined it? I put some suspension on some cars and afterwards I was just like, I've made this rock hard and it's just undrivable and horrible. It was a really nice, comfortable car. And just because I wanted to lower it is then undrivable and horrible afterwards.
I always quite carefully think of things first. I don't want to ruin stuff like that. So I don't think I've ever I did change the pulley once on my old Range Rover before the supercharger, and it didn't make a scrap bit of difference. Spent a whole day trying to get the pulley off the charger, changed it, put it all back on there, and it was exactly the same.
Complete waste of day.
Up the bypass, going, we don't feel any quicker. It says 30 brake goes more. Well, then when 30 brake goes on a 400 brake goes car, doesn't make much of a difference.
Last quick question from Mongrel Dogs Racing. Any tips for my drift truck mods? Loads of power,
left foot braking, and just feel what it feels like underneath your ass, basically. I mean, just feel the car.
Hydro handbrake.
I haven't got one. Don't know what it does.
Oh, mate, you can't. I've done a couple of drifting experiences now with straight six track days, and there's no better feeling than hanging on the big hydraulic handbrake, mate, and pitching the car sideways. It just feels something about it.
I left foot brake, sling the car one way, suck the car the other way, and just power through the corner. That's all I ever do with it. Even when I do the stuff at Car Fest, it's all done with just a left foot. That's all I do with it. And just stamp on the brake, power it.
Yeah, but you could drive it. No, I can't, so I've got to rely on a hydraulic handbrake. Mate, we're at an hour. I'm going to go before we get cut off. Mate, it's absolutely mega to catch up with you. Great to see that lovely, cheery, happy face and hear that beautiful Welsh accent again. Thank you to everyone who's come on and ask questions and whatever. If I press the right buttons in a minute, I'm going to save it to my IGTV. So anyone that's joined halfway through can go and watch it again. I'll also convert it into a YouTube video from my YouTube channel. And I'm also doing a podcast. I've ripped the sound off of my YouTube and I put it in a podcast as well. So I've just put it out everywhere. Basically because I'm bored and I've got nothing else to do. But it is what it is. Like you, mate, I'm just waiting for stuff to open up again, get events going and all that sort of stuff. So.
I can't wait till we get married next year. So. Yeah,
you got to say that.
Yeah, you're staring at me right now.
Mate, love you, buddy. Love to Bryony as well. Hi, Bryony. Thank you so much for helping out. And I'll catch up with you guys soon. Well done, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.